Hey everyone, I finished quite a few things I don't really want to make a full video on. So let's talk about some recent reads and what I'm currently reading. Let's start with the novella by Stephen Graham Jones, Mapping the Interior. This was a very short read and I have to admit I don't really know what it was about. I was confused most of the time. It's a Native American story of a young boy seeing his dead father, and I thought it was some kind of dream walking, but I don't know, and I didn't see a story in there. Probably completely went over my head and I didn't understand what it was about. Afterwards I read that Stephen Graham Jones is a horror writer and I was worried that I should have been scared, but I wasn't. So, not a book for me. Look for someone else who might have understood what they read and then look for their thoughts on the book. Another thing I finished which I understood is It's Absolutely Fine by Ruby Elliott. This is a story of her life with mental health, or rather mental illness, and drawing it because life is complicated. And I really enjoyed this book. For one, because it gave you such a good insight in how someone with mental illness experiences life. And I thought it's really helpful for people who might struggle with things and don't really know that this is not normal or feel weird and different. And they can find out in this book that it's not normal, but that they're not alone and that there is help out there. But it also reminded me of how good it is for people who don't suffer from mental illness to read these kinds of books, because they can understand how it is to suffer from mental illness maybe a little bit better after having read some of the things that she talks about. On audio, I finished listening to Dr. Zhivago by Boris Pasternak, and I listened to the German version narrated by Jürgen Henschel, and I really liked the narration. It is 18 hours long, and I was very surprised. I culturally had always understood that Dr. Zhivago is a soppy love story happening in trains and snow. That's what my cultural knowledge of the book was. But it's not. It's more a complex story of the life of Dr. Zhivago in the first half of the 20th century and the experiences he has during the time of change in the Soviet Union, and where all the political upheavals were, the revolution and the change in society and everything. And it wasn't only his life. There were so many perspectives, so many narrative changes, which were kind of confusing, but I could get into them for the story part. I couldn't analyze the book by the audiobook. Wouldn't be able to, but I never wanted to do that. So I'm glad I listened to the audiobook, because I don't know if I could have finished all the boring parts and the political parts and the endless dialogues in print form. But I didn't have to, so that was good. Currently I'm listening to Crime and Punishment, also the German narration, and I haven't gotten very far. But so far I like it. In print I'm reading Soul Music by Terry Pratchett, and it's such a delight to dive back into the Discworld. You know, I'm rereading all the books. This is one I haven't read in English yet, so I'm kind of loving the experience, and the writing is just, it's home. It's like coming home reading a Pratchett book of Discworld, and so, you know, I'm having fun. Okay, that's what I've been reading lately. Tell me what you have been reading or what you're currently reading, and yeah, what would you recommend? I haven't had recommendations in a while. Not that I need books, but yeah, we all need recommendations, right? Thank you for watching, and let's talk in comments. Bye bye.